My sunshine, my sunshine, you're my sunshine. Wake in the morning, open my eyes, sunshine on my face, beautiful skies. You're next to me, laying in bed, not just the visions inside of my head. Hey everyone, good evening and welcome to Wedding Wednesday. So today we're going to discuss a topic that may not be as exciting as the other topics. Today we're going to discuss why you need premarital counseling. Now, most couples think they don't need this. However, oftentimes you have disagreements for things that you may think is minor, but remember, dating and being married is two different situations. Being married and living under the same roof changes a lot of things. You may think you know someone in and out, but until you live with them on a daily basis and have to deal with bills and other household things, food shopping and stuff like that, and who leaves the toilet seat up, and who throw the laundry on the floor instead of putting it in a hamper. Little things like that sometimes could, if it happens enough times in the day or week or month, could become a big problem long term. So a lot of times you have little things and you sweep it under the rug, but it bothers you and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't take this. But you're not saying it to the other person. Or if you're saying it to the person, it is not resonating with them. It goes through one ear and comes out the other. So this is where premarital counseling comes into play. You go to the pastor and you set aside a certain date and time, and you have a third party sort of, get in the midst, and someone who could be objective and not pick sides, and you are able to vent and each person get a chance to talk without the other person interrupting, because this person will be the mediator, okay? And you put all your cares on the table, so to speak, and you get certain topics off your chest and out the way, and he will be able or she will be able to help you, give you certain suggestions for coping mechanisms for the person who's dealing with the situation that's aggravating them, and for the person who's doing it, a third party being able to look at it and give you their perspective of how you may think this is irrelevant, but how it bothers the other person and how this could affect your marriage long term, is going to make you look at it from a whole different perspective. So this might not have been something that you have on your list, but now, take a moment to think about it and put it on your list, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Because ignoring little things and they piling up turn into big things long term. So set aside some time with your pastor and go and get everything, out of the way prior to the wedding. Sort out all your differences and start working on them before the date. And for the people who are already living together, you're assuming, well, we're already living together, so getting married is not going to change things. Sometimes it does, because when someone gets married, a lot of times they think differently. They're like, this is my husband now, this is my wife now. Before it was just like, maybe it was my girlfriend, my boyfriend, we're like roommates, whatever. It steps things up another notch, and you look at it like, I can't believe my wife is doing this, or I can't believe my husband is doing this. So it will be imperative prior to the wedding to get your differences out the way, because a lot of times people focus on the wedding day And yes, it's a beautiful day and it's a lot of, planning goes into it and you've been waiting for it your whole life, especially for the woman. You dream of the dress and the castle and, all these beautiful things. However, you cannot think about the wedding and neglect the marriage. Did I repeat that? You cannot only focus on the wedding day and all the, you know, fun and festivity and don't focus on the marriage because your wedding is one day and your honeymoon might be a few days or whatnot. Your marriage is forever. If that is your intent, your marriage is forever. So you have to work on your marriage before you put all this focus on your wedding. Okay? I don't want to be a stick in the mud. So, for the people tuning in and who have been following this series, they're like, oh, I wonder what she's going to talk about today. And they're thinking of all the, you know, pomp and circumstance and the flowers and the cake and the this and the that. But you have to take a moment to reflect on your marriage and your plans for your marriage. Because simple things, as I say, like differences in religion and, beliefs, political beliefs, little things that is annoying to you, but you think it's not a big deal. When you get married now and you have children, you want to raise the child, let's say Catholic, your husband want to raise the child Baptist, are, what do you call it, a Democrat, your husband is a Republican. You think now it's not a big deal, but when you have kids now, you think your kids should go this way, the husband think the kids should go that way. So you have to think about all these things prior to the wedding day and you have to discuss this and try to get to a middle ground. My perspective on this is when children get into play, you try to raise the child with both perspectives, and when the child reaches a certain age they will decide which way they want to go. But the bickering and you saying, well, the child should be this because I'm this, and the other person saying, well, the child should be that because I'm that, all these things you have to think about before you walk down the aisle you know. So, as much as this topic might not be as exciting as the others, it needs to be discussed and brought to the table. Sweeping it under the rug is not going to change the situation. So, that's all I'm going to talk about today. I'm not going to keep it long and dragged out. Happy wedding planning, and see you next week with another video. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend and a relative who's getting married to
Ain't
come
no
check out
question.
Wedding Wednesday. Love you
To
all.
you I
See you in the next
belong.
video. Smooches.
Baby, you know that my love is strong. You're the hot chocolate, and I'll be your cup. Come here, my darling. Please fill me up.